Hi guys and girls, Rose Burnett here, Mind, Body, Soul Balance Coach, and today we're talking about getting things done, how to accomplish those goals and dreams and things that you've been procrastinating about, haven't quite got around to, seriously want to get done, but you just don't know even how to start. Well, you're holding yourself stuck, right? So how do you get things done? I'll let you know, I've created many businesses, right? All sorts of different types of businesses. Like 30, I'm going to say to you, like literally, probably, it was about 30 years ago. That might tell you a little bit about my age, right? I was co-running restaurants with my first partner, my first husband, That kind of taught me a lot about business. And, from there, I had all these little micro businesses. So never discount your ideas. The reason I share this with you is I'm talking about your goals and your dreams, right? I've had giftware businesses where I did the creative thing and had hand-painted giftware that I sold into retail shops. Every time that you do a step in your journey, like that kind of stuff, is you learn more about business. Those kinds of things, whilst they're great and it's something you're passionate about, right, they're not scalable, right? So you can only do so much with your time. But every step in your journey is about growth. But it's also how do I, and I'll tell you some other things I've done. I had a global fashion jewelry business. Started that with $500 in my pocket. Nobody would give me a job, right? I was like, I'm over this. I tried for a year. I'm over it. I've got to do something, right? Got two little boys to support at that time. And it just grew. It grew over 4 years. It started with an idea and it just expanded out, and I made that scalable, right? But it took a lot of work, and people go, well, I want this and that. You actually got to work for it, right? You've got to be committed enough. You've got to want it enough to commit to it, to do the hard yakkers when things are challenging, when things aren't working out, when you've not got the money rolling in, right? But you've got to stick with it. The people that make it are those that are persistent. They're not the best. They're not the brightest. They're the ones that persist, that show up consistently in their own lives. I've had marketing businesses. My marketing businesses started because my jewelry business went so well. And I was marketing. I learned everything I needed to learn about marketing. Back then, nobody knew how to market on the internet, right? It was just taken off. I self-taught myself. And from that, my web design company went, we don't know what you're doing, but could you do it for all of our clients? They had big clients, right? And I'm like, really? You want me to do it for you? They're like, yeah, we don't know what you're doing, but it's amazing, right? I was on the top of Google for 4 years straight. Nobody could knock me off. I could get clients top rankings within probably 3 months. They're not on number one, but I've worked out a system, but I'd self-taught myself. There's so many things in life that you can self-teach yourself, but we're getting off track, right? So let's talk about getting things done. So I've coached entrepreneurs as well in terms of transformational coaching, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of creating online businesses. And the thing about getting things done is people often turn to me and go, how come you're so motivated? Like, what makes you so motivated? Most of those businesses, right, I run from home. One, I love working in that space because for me it's super relaxing, it's quiet, I get away from people, right? I can focus on what I'm doing. Some people can't work from home because they're not disciplined enough. You can learn that discipline, right? Absolutely. I still exercise, I still catch up with people. But my time during my day is my work day, but I'm still flexible around that, right? So you've got to kind of work out things that suit your energy. When you got the most energy? If it's in the morning, work in the morning, right? If it's things that you're in a career, you're in a job, all that kind of stuff, and there's other things you want to do outside of that, like your exercise. Guys and girls, set an alarm, get up, right? The hardest thing is putting your shoes on, getting dressed. That's the stumbling point, right? Once you're out the door, there's no going back, right? You're there. That's the hardest part of your routine, is getting up, right? If you're an evening person who likes to exercise in the evening, you need to do it as soon as you finish work, right? Just head straight there. The minute you get home, you're going to sit on the couch and go, oh, a little bit tired, might have my dinner instead. Yeah, that's procrastination. How do you get things done? I'm surrounded by whiteboards, right? And it's super interesting. When you start writing your goals and dreams out, your values, the things you want to achieve. I had a whiteboard back in fact, I rarely do vision boards, right? Don't have the time. I did it once, right? I did it once. And it was a couple of years ago. And it was before I did it was in my process of transformation. I'll share with you, I was somebody that was, 4 or 5 years ago, I lost like 30 kilos. It took me a little while, right? But it's part of my Mind, Body, Soul Balance program, but I had this vision board and I was going through a tough time, and I put like cut pictures out of magazines, and don't mind sharing with you. Okay. Cut pictures out of magazines, what my body wanted to look like. You know, I picked some gorgeous girl and went, oh, I so want that bikini body. Popped it up there, right? You know, the beautiful car, the house, the holidays, how much I wanted to be earning, all that kind of stuff, right? Stuck it on a vision board. In between that, like my marriage, second marriage went down the gurgler. We won't go into that because that's another story in itself, yeah. But it was a very challenging time for me. But what happened, and the reason I tell you that, right, is so my son and I were moving out and we were packing all the stuff up. And he goes, oh my God, look at this vision board you did. And I'd done it a year before, right? So we pulled it out and I've gone, oh God, this is hilarious. And I've looked at everything on there, right? And I achieved absolutely everything on it except for maybe one thing, which was buying my own house, yeah? I had not only achieved those goals, and this is the importance of writing stuff down and putting it out there, right? The weight, I think I had on my vision board, I wanted to be a size 10, right? It was my dream. Hadn't been it for ages, probably 25 years, hadn't been a size 10, yeah? Ended up being a size 8. Totally kicked that out of the park. I put that board together and didn't look at it. I looked at it for about 3 months, had it in front of me, right? And then it kind of slid down the back of the cupboard. The holidays, I managed both of them in the same year. The car I managed. There was all these things, you know, in terms of an even business, right? I've done them all except for one, which was the house thing, yeah? But we moved into a beautiful home. And, you know, so it's so important. And at the moment, I have got 2 whiteboards, right? So I've got one with all the big goals on, one with the priorities on, and they're all broken down into steps, right? That's how you get motivated. That's how you realize what your path is and how you bring it into fruition. On my desk every week, I just have a little note that says, what do I need to do this week and achieve? It might be bills I've got to pay. It might be things like tasks I've got to do for my whiteboard. So I'm looking at my whiteboards now, right? There's one there. Yeah. Out of that, what am I going to break down and work on this week? Sometimes I'll manage it, sometimes I won't. But I'll usually get part of it done, right? And that's the key. Don't ever beat yourself up about things you don't quite get done, but you're working towards them. Try harder next week. The other part of getting things done is looking at what are my strengths and weaknesses in areas that I'm procrastinating about. Why am I not managing it? For me, some of my stuff is around time management. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on. And there's projects I want to do, which I'm writing now, which is the Deep Karmic Healing Program, right? That I haven't managed to get to for a couple of months. But I'm solidly knocking it out, right? But I've got to manage my time around that. I've got to push other things to the side or minimize what I'm doing in one area so I can work on the other area. Yeah, so you've got to kind of look at it also as to how much time have I got and what do I really want to focus on first? What is that 1 or 2 things I want to focus on first? You can do lots of things, right? But when you dissipate your energy, you're not going to finish things off, right? And you want to get to the end game. So I'd love to hear your feedback and your comments below. Motivation, drive, where does it come from? It always comes from within. You've got to seriously want something, right? If you're half-hearted about it, you're half-hearted about it. Why is it on your board? Why is it on your list if you're half-hearted about it? Is it because you don't believe that you're going to achieve it? Is it because it's a wish? It's not something that you think that I'll have in the future, but not now? That puts you behind the 8 board all the time. You know why? Because it's always out there and it's never going to get close to you. You've always got to believe that whatever you can think of, ideas, dreams that you have, you can absolutely bring them into your reality. You've already put the thought out there. You can always create it. It takes hard work. It takes discipline. It takes motivation. Motivation's just showing up. Yeah. Motivation's doing the things you need to do. Nobody's going to do it for you. There's never going to be a perfect time. There's only now. I've got to say, try not to be overwhelmed to put yourself going like, I want these massive things, but I'm not getting there, right? You have to bring it back to a kind of a realism. Absolutely have them, right? But you've also got to bring it back and go, okay, so how always, and you know, this is hilarious because I'm somebody that's super big goal, right? Big goals, yeah, super like that all the time. And it's hilarious because I can beat myself up going, still not there. It's still there. I'm still not there, right? You've got to watch that. Yeah, got to watch that because when you do that, you forget about how far you've come, right? For example, I started my YouTube channel off in the 1st of the 1st, 2018, right? So what are we now? It's probably about 13 months ago, 14, 15 months ago. I can't count. Somebody worked that out for me, yeah. You know what I mean, right? When I started that out, I'd got the message to do that for about a year. And I put it off. Thought, don't know if that's a path I want to go down. I don't know. Do I have got the confidence? Yeah. You can put a whole lot of stuff in front of you about not getting things done, right? And in terms of appreciating how far you've come, right? Because you can ignore that. You can keep working, not realizing how much progress you're making, how much personal growth you're making, how much transformation you're making. Yeah. I hit 1 million hits. You still would have seen it on YouTube if you follow me regularly, right? We hit 1 million. We're up to 1.2 million now, right? That was about a month ago. It was super, super exciting for me. But did I start off with that goal? I didn't. I didn't start off with that goal. So you never know what you can achieve once you start. Yeah, things start to snowball. It takes time. It's always going to take you longer than you think it is. Always, right? And what do you do in those times? You've got to be super patient and you just got to keep going and you don't give up. All right, now, hey, if you're interested in the Deep Karmic Healing Program, want to find out more about it, details are down below. All you're doing is pre-registering to get to know when it's coming out. You can find out more about it, yeah? The link is down there. Oh, actually, I might pop it up on here. Yeah, all right. Have an awesome day. Get motivated. Be consistent. Show up in your own life. All right, bye.